Notification volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have another blast from the past. Toybiz Vengeance. Here he is, riding his motorcycle of bones. I just recently found out that this year will be the 50th anniversary of Ghostrider, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of big anniversaries this year. It's either this year or next year. It's the 50th anniversary. Anyway, in the San Diego Comic Con, they mentioned that the new HasLab coming up, they teased that it will be Ghostrider related. And I got to thinking, and I'm like, do I have any Ghostriders? Hi, Cream. Yes, indeed I do. I have Vengence, which I honestly don't know that much about. I considered him cool. He was the most wild looking out of the bunch. Other than crap, I forgot the other guy's name. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about Vengeance here. If Cream doesn't block the camera with his body, there you go. So I have the GI Joe classified Ram cycle over here on the left. Well, actually, on your right, my left. Because I wanted to do kind of a comparison. So we're gonna slide it over here just a bit, and we're gonna bring him over here and set him. Cat hair. And we're going to set him down right here and do a nice side-by-side comparison. The Vengeance motorcycle is actually a bit longer than the Ram cycle. And though the Ram cycle does win in the amount of detail. And I have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Bat wandering around over here just to do another size comparison. So we're going to take and move Ram cycle just a bit more. There we go. And we're going to move this guy to the center. We're now done. Moved the Vengeance all the way around to the your right hand side. So let's get this bat over here. Bat next to Vengeance. It's pretty cool. While y'all look at that, I'm going to go over here and slide you just a bit more. There we go. We get the center bit all to Vengeance and this bat. So the bat next to Vengeance, while Vengeance is on the motorcycle, Bat's head in Vengeance's head is just a bit smaller than Bat's head, or at least a little bit shorter when he's on the motorcycle. But that's par for the course, though. When you compare Vengeance here to this guy, the driver of the Ram cycle, which I'm just spacing on the name for some reason, you get a difference of a little bit too. So Vengeance actually sits lower on his motorcycle than Breaker sits on his motorcycle. That's the name, Breaker. And now let's get Vengeance off his motorcycle. Well, we'll talk about the motorcycle with Vengeance on it. This is a pretty cool motorcycle. But in order to have enough room, we're going to send Eye Cream. And we're going to put the Ram cycle over here as well. Get it out of the way. There we go. Knock over the bat. Par for the course. And here we go. All alone is the Vengeance with his Vengeance cycle. Or whatever he calls it. So, this thing is pretty cool. And we'll take these guys apart to really talk about each of them. So, the nice thing about Vengeance and the Toybiz guys that had motorcycles is that you tended to, there it goes, you tended to just have them always sitting on their motorcycles. So this guy has got really great stiff joints still to this very day, even though he's almost 20 years old. Yeah, you're almost 20 years old, man. All right. So the motorcycle here, it's pretty simple. It doesn't weigh that much. It's very lightweight. They made it out of bones, and that's really cool. Like, I love the fact that the fuel tank is just a rib cage. I guess it's fueled off of the souls of the unworthy or something like that. The front of it actually kind of looks like his face. Like, you got this big nose and then these teeth things that come out the bottom. It's like a skull face just from the nose down and no eyes. And the tires are each covered in this flame detail that just, its molding was excellent. Its sculpt work was amazing. I loved it. I love the fact that somehow they made it feel like it's in motion. Even when I'm holding it right here and just feeling it, it feels like it's moving in my hand. in the sense of how the sculpt work went on this thing. It's beautiful. They did such a great job with this guy. Uh, I don't know how the I remember the paint apps being decent as well, but not really popping. Though these orange and red wheels were popping. Um, the rest of this motorcycle is just some bones, and I thought that was one of the coolest parts about him. I got some little white paste there from where I actually put some sticky tack to help hold him into his place. You got these two pegs that sit up, and this is how he stays in place. They put these peg holes on the backs of his legs, right? Right above the knee socket, there's a peg hole in each of his legs, and that allows him to actually sit on the motorcycle. And we're going to talk about Vengeance in a minute. We're almost done with the motorcycle. It's got these two really cool, like, horn feeling things that come down, and it kind of makes the impression of a skull if you consider the negative zone areas. But in the most part, it, it it feels like vertebrae. It feels like backbones that come up to make this to make the handles for the motorcycle, and then there's these claws that come down where he actually holds on and steers. It's just this is such a hellish bike. It is such a hellish motorcycle. Just oh man, if I was a criminal and I saw this motorcycle coming at me, I'd poop my pants. I'd be wearing the brown pants that day for sure. This is wild. I and now that's why I got this back in the day. I saw the motorcycle and was like, this is, and I saw the figure and just was blown away by its detail. This was, of course, back when Toybiz was doing non-build-a-figure stuff. Whenever they would just, oh, wait, I just realized that's actually two eyes there. I'm totally wrong on that end. But no, this was back before the Galactus wave, when Toybiz was just be like, hey, we're charging $20 for these things. What can we throw in there to make people buy them? And they threw in things like this motorcycles. Every Ghostrider they had came with their own unique motorcycle, but Vengeance's motorcycle was just wild. Oh, you just passed out over here now, Cream? That's cool. So that's the Vengeance motorcycle. It is an excellent piece, and for a bit of a size comparison, we can actually, even though it's got those little pegs that make it a little difficult for other figures to sit on it, it actually makes it a lot difficult for other figures to sit on it. You can still manage it. So we're just going to, there we go. And, hey, bend your knee, butthole. Okay. And par for the course, knocking something over. Let's see. Now we could just set him on top of the motorcycle. Though, he doesn't work as well, but that's mainly because he doesn't have holes in the backs of his legs for the motor for these pins, which I'd say that is the biggest negative on this motorcycle is those pins. Like really, but anyway, so that's the motorcycle. We'll set it down right here. You can get it out of the way, and straighten up this guy's legs, straighten up your knees. Okay, cool. And now where did Vengeance land? Okay, Vengeance is here. Now, I don't remember Vengeance coming with any other sort of a weapon accessories. I'm pretty sure the only accessory he came with was that motorcycle. And, I mean, he's got some pretty cool stuff going on with him. So we'll talk about him, because he is just sculpted to the nth degree. He is, wow. All right, so we'll start from his head sculpt. Now, his head is, you feel it here in his face area, and I love his face mask. And I think this is actually his face, because, yeah, he's a skull. He's got these two big, like, things that come down on either side of his face. He's got this bone-feeling texture. He's got a ripped-off nose there. It's just wild. It's a skull, but it's a skull that doesn't really have a bottom jaw. It's just the nose of a skull and then teeth. It's demonic. It's outrageous. It's something that you don't want to see in a dark alley. That's for sure. And like, how do you talk? You just push your thoughts into other people's brains. No, that's his face. His face is sculpted to be just a scary skeleton, like a skeleton that's non-human at all. It is a weird skeleton. Sadly, there is no sort of I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is a small smidge bit of jaw articulation there. Yeah, you can. I just, you know what? I've owned this figure for since it came out, and I got it at Walmart shelves, and I just realized that his jaw has a slight articulation to it. You can move it slightly up and down. That's wild. That's wild right there. I didn't even know that. That is cool. Okay, so you learn something new every day. Um, Now we'll talk about the top of the skull. He's got a mohawk that's spiked. Everybody enjoys spiked mohawks in the 80s and 90s, and this guy's spiked mohawk is no exception, except of course the fact that it's on fire, and it's a fire mohawk, which everyone goes, mohawks are cool, spiked mohawks are cooler, fire mohawks are hot, hot, hot. Um, Bad pun, I know. And you come to the back of his head, and he's got a reverse mullet. Like he gets these spiked the spiked mohawk going most of his head, and then in the back of his head, and he's got a bit of a mullet. But instead of coming down his back of his jacket, it actually flares up. So I consider it a reverse mohawk. Mullet. It doesn't go down; it goes up. It's like it's a mullet trying to be Vegeta's hair. That's the best way I can describe it. And I just love the fire textures on it. They managed to do individual flames, and that was a cool little feature. Now we get over here to the jacket, and this jacket is wild. It's a leather biker's jacket. He's got the popped up collar because why not? Yeah, have the popped up collar on each of his shoulder pads. He's got ridiculous spikes. I mean, ridiculous spikes. Good grief. They're like the length of his forearms. Let's see. Can we raise your arm up all the way to do that? Yeah, they're kind of like the length of his forearm. That's wild. He has got some wild spikes on each of his shoulders. And his shoulder pads go over the edges of his deltoids, but it doesn't restrict too much arm movement. And because it's made of soft plastic, you can actually get some good range in there, but not as much as you would with other figures that don't have armor on. Come down here to the front of his chest, and we've got these three rubberized ribs sticking out of his chest. And then on the inside, you get this texture of like burnt out innards. It's wild feeling. It's gross. It's nasty. Wow. Just, words cannot describe the weird textures going on in here, or sculpt work to be the innards and stuff, and the jacket pieces. It's a jacket that's like half open to reveal that he doesn't have any skin, and these ribs. I mean, that's a good. These ribs are really nice. That's some great armor. If you were to fall off your bike and land on your chest, these things will definitely protect your lungs. But what lungs? Now we come around to the back, and we've got his the straps that hold his armor together. They crisscross across his back. They come down here to his sides, and his back is very clean feeling, except for those straps. Those straps are really nice. I like the texture of them. The figure comes down here. Now we'll talk about the arms. We're done with the midsection. The arms have really cool, just basic texture in the biceps, good muscle tone, but you came to expect that from Toybiz. The lower arm, the forearm, has some texture, new texture in that he has these really crazy motorcycle gloves that have this textured feel to them that makes it feel like they're partly on fire. He also has a nice forearm swivel, and he has a bicep swivel. So you can get him into many great poses. And the only thing with his forearm swivel is it isn't a wrist swivel because his gloves actually go halfway down his forearm. Come to his hands. and we've got a joint for his palm, no joint for his thumb, but there is a articulated joint for his 4 fingers, so he can make a fist and ride his motorcycle. And then on the back of his hand, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 big old spikes. And this is copied with the other hand exactly. They're mirrors of each other. No special things between hands. I know some figures have that. But this guy just has really crazy leather gloves that have spikes on them and high cream and fire. Now let's get down to his legs. We've got basic muscle tone. He's got something going on with his crotch area there. It feels like there's more textured of yeah, that feels like pants texture, like where the pants bunch up when you're sitting down on a motorcycle. They managed to get that. So that was pretty cool. We go around to his back. He's got a Toybiz butt, and we come down to his legs, and whoa, he's got some thunder thighs. In the sense that he is ripped in the thigh department. He's got all these muscles just poking out and prominently on display. That's pretty cool. We come down here to his knee. His knee's got a cool kneecap. It's got double jointed knees. That's really nice. And the elbows, I believe, are double jointed as well. Let's double check that. I don't want to say something that's wrong. So let's see. Double jointed elbows? Yes, double jointed elbows. Look at that. So the other joint for the elbow is actually hidden around the glove. That's pretty cool. So, but double jointed knees. The knee pad is all right. I do remember it being a different color than the rest of the leg, but I can't tell you what color it is. I've kind of forgotten. Come down here to his boots, and he's got a boot swivel, like his entire boot can swivel around. And he has got some really great texture with these boots. They are thick hide boots, like ultimate biker boots. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4 big spikes. Not as big as his shoulder spikes, but decent, definitely bigger than his spikes on his hands, sticking out on either side of his boots. And we come down here to the articulation in his foot. He's got back and forth. He's got toe articulation. He's got side to side. And that's kind of it. Like the Toybiz, the way they designed their feet, you can't do any sort of spin the foot around and make it look broken or something like you can with, say, this bat here. Like you can take Bat's foot and spin it all the way around so that it looks messed up. Yeah, but you can't do that with Toybiz, sadly. Anyway, overall, this was an excellent figure. He's got such a crazy head. I just loved it. I absolutely loved this guy's head and his crazy spikes. He is an excellent figure, and I can't wait to see what the HasLab is for Marvel Legends. And if it's a 1/12 scale muscle car, I'm gonna have to try and get it. I'm gonna have to try and get it if it's a 1/12 scale muscle car. But here's hoping it's not. Man, that way I don't have to worry about it. I was really hoping it was Fin Fang Foom, so I could just go, meh, I don't care. But you know me. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I have a fascination and a love of 1/12 scale vehicles. I can't help myself. I like the 1/12 scale vehicles. Like if you want to make Blind Prime happy, send him a 1/12 scale vehicle. I'll review it on the show, and I'll love every minute of it, unless it's a really, really crappy one, and then I'll hate on it. Because, I have high standards for 1/12 scale vehicles. But that is all I've got to say for today. And, oh no, where did I put it? Here it is. Found my zapper. I hope that y'all have had a wonderful day. And please tune in next Prime, where we will be discussing Twin Twist. Yes, Twin Twist. From the new Amazon series. That's actually just a retool of the Titans Return Twin Twist. Which is something like $120 online, so don't even bother with Titans Return Twin Twist. That's just a ridiculous price to pay for a deluxe scale figure. Instead, you should just get the new one from Amazon, unless they're all gone. And in that case, I'm sorry. I really hope they're not, though, because it is a fun figure, and I'd like more people to experience it. But I've blathered on long enough for today. Please tune in next Prime. Thank you for watching. Oh, and par for the course. Blind people problems. Please like, subscribe, share, and if you can, click on the GoFundMe link in the posted comments or pinned comment, and donate $5 to me or something. If you have the ability to financially help the channel, that'd be really really awesome. But if you don't, please don't. I don't want anybody to go without eating to help fund my channel. That would just be wrong. But thank you for watching. Bye bye.